Japan has decided to dump 1.3 million tons of nuclear water into the Pacific Ocean. Its neighbors, China and South Korea, have strongly opposed the decision. China has called it extremely irresponsible. Not only will it change our planet, generations of people are going to live with the consequences of a single rash decision. But you know what? One country has notably expressed its support for Japan's planned actions. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has tweeted, "We thank Japan for its transparent efforts, and we look forward to the government of Japan's continued coordination with the International Atomic Energy Agency." Transparent? I don't think so. It has been 10 years since Japan's worst ever nuclear disaster. Huge levels of toxic water have been generated because of the crisis. TEPCO, Japan's biggest power company, has been in charge of the nuclear water disposal. But to date, it has been anything except transparent. In 2013, the energy company withheld the fact that tainted water was leaking into the ocean because it did not want to worry the public. In 2018, TEPCO admitted failure in filtering all dangerous materials out of the water, even though it had been saying for years they had been removed. Now it claims dumping the contaminated water into the ocean is the best possible solution, with little information provided about why other options are not being considered.
For an important decision like this, Japan should have consulted its neighboring countries because we're only a couple of hundred miles away by sea, meaning we'll be the first to suffer from the release. But Japan hasn't done this. This is why the international community is concerned and angry about how it's being handled.
So given all this, why is the U.S. saying otherwise? One reason is Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, who's currently on a visit to the United States. That makes him the first foreign leader to visit the country since Joe Biden took office.
Japan is very significant to Biden's Indo-Pacific strategy, which aims to counter China's rise. The Biden administration is putting that before its own people's interest. Blinken's statement is trying to turn a potential environmental crisis into something political. The message is the U.S. is on the side of its ally.
Well, the U.S. may think this contaminated water is not going to affect America itself. But let's not forget the power of ocean currents. It may only take 2 to 3 years for the toxic water to make its way to Californian shores. So what should be the right approach?
A thorough scientific study should be conducted jointly by the world. That would have to take between 5 to 10 years. For example, by putting marine organisms into a pool, some of the water could then be released into it. Observations of how this affects cells, organ structure, and the immune system would take place over time.
With stakes this high, Japan should not make decisions based on its interests alone. The U.S. should also put aside geopolitics and its hypocrisy. Because like COVID-19, this is about science and survival of mankind, not politics. We, as a collective world, need to speak up and protect ourselves and our future.